run into issues. It should be back up, I believe, but we may potentially run into more technical difficulties. But we shall see what the status is. And Sage is an incredibly popular pick onto Split, so we see Sage is coming from both sides. Raze is also an incredibly popular pick, so Raze coming out again, once again, a very common pick. And Breach, I don't see that much on Split, but I can see its value in a lot of the angles, and KO is also a pretty solid pick. Jet, I actually don't see that much onto this map, so I'm very surprised by how this will seem to play out.
Turret out.
As and now we will see how this map 3 plays out between these two comps. Honestly, I'm really curious myself how these comps will play out, because they're not comps that I see a lot. Honestly, personally, I am more of a I think Split is like one of the few maps where I honestly value Cypher over Killjoy. But I feel like Cypher just really died out of the meta and popularity wise, so I can see why it's not being really played out here. But personally, both teams playing Jet makes sense in a way, because we already see a kill towards the middle of the map, and we're going to see how this changes how the attackers have to play. After we balls like struggling a bit to deal with Harry, they know that he's on this Jet again, and even if Jet isn't a generally common pick on Split, I mean, players like Brandon and Harry can just make it viable just on their own. They can just completely switch up. And Gabe throwing out a high knife, I don't know if that's what he wanted, as I don't even think the attackers are going to clear him, but instead he just decides to go for it. Harry's able to get one, and the healing coming out. So now, Harry even has a pocket Sage to watch out the heal for him, and now Nikki, the last player standing, she heals herself. It's a 1v2, but there is one player low on the defense already. And if she's able to get a good timing here, maybe she could peek into them one by one, but we shall see as Harry goes in for the shots, and they just land. That's 3 kills going over. And once again, we see a dominating performance coming in on this Jet pick. It's probably quite demoralizing to have to go up against someone who just sweeps the lobby on his own. And so now we do see the attackers going on a complete save, while the defenders will go for their full buy. The wall is fortified and they're just running through. Let's see if Harry's able to get anything out of it. He is stunned though, but what is the point of a stun against the Spectre, as the attackers are just hovering here, and Harry's holding on to Sheriff, so. And Dave just right here waiting out with the flash as well, and is able to get one, maybe even 2, but no, he's actually not able to track the Derek, who is in this sort of position, and Justin is a little bit caught out too, but they will run out safely. And Harry is already down, and now it's a 3v4, but the gun's advantage for the defenders already, and now incredibly low are the last 2 players on the attackers. Nikki able to get the dink though right into Justin, but that is Spike going down, and Derek, the last person standing, only having this classic, and he's not going to be able to get any, as Lavender Shmoo getting 3 kills right there on the Killjoy pick. And I wonder how this will change up a little bit of the shots, as now they go for full buy, and now Harry's just gonna go with the Sheriff here, as the rest of his team keeps the Spectres from the previous round, it seems. And the absolute domination of this man just on this Jet, and the attackers are just gonna have to find a way to rush and trade him, I guess, is the only thing they can really do. It's the most that they can ask for. No matter how good someone aims, if you just rush it together and you're team isn't in that kind of a situation, then it would work. But no, Harry is able to get a kill right into Brendan as well, and will also get a gun off of that, I think. And yes, that's a Vandal for him.
Get him.
We see a little bit of words being traded out between both Jets. Words of encouragement showing their how impressive their aims can be towards each other, as the attackers are now making some noise towards mid, as that is where they are all going up towards. They do have the numbers disadvantage, but still they have the guns to be able to potentially win this out. But they just have to spot out the players that they want to catch out, and if they're not able to do so, it could be a little bit difficult. Justin investing the double, but he will just drop down and the nade. Chipito's trying to get the timing here, but he will be breach aftershocked out, but there's a lot of plays on the defense here. Harry able to get a kill. Will he going to get another is another question. He dashes out safely, but he runs out of bullets, and I think he had to reload there. So Jaden able to get that kill. 3v3 situation. Chipito's coming out with the mollies to try and slow down the plan as much as possible, and the attackers are in a little bit of a rough situation. Playing around this Viper is going to be really difficult, and clearing a knife was huge. And now the Viper goes down, so that means that they can safely plant the bomb most likely here, as Killjoy and KO do not have the utility to break down the plan. And now Spectre versus 3 rifles, as he's going to miss onto 1. But there are 2 players low, so maybe there is a chance here. He tries to get the timing here, as they're scared of swinging, but Jaden goes for the final swing there, gets a 3k for his team, and is able to get them on the board. So I don't think it's completely over for Epic We Ball at all, actually. Incredibly strong holds into being really patient there and playing around the weaponry advantage that they know that they had, and they're completely able to take the B site, and that is just a win for them. And honestly, I thought it would be more advantageous with Tippy Toes. Didn't actually go for the swing at all.
Placing swarm grenade.
Played off more
Placing
utility.
swarm grenade.
So Viper's ability to hinder plant is incredibly strong. With that smoke being placed, it lowers them to 1 HP, and then the molly can just finish them off. It's incredibly hard to deal with, honestly. And Brandon's cross is actually exactly on Nemo's head, but he just chooses not to shoot, as he definitely does not know if there's someone in there or not. And the attacker's going in aggressive as Nemo pushes out, but he does get traded out immediately, and the attacker's on the advantage here in towards numbers, as there is a heaven lurk coming here in from Brandon, as Harry and him will kill each other, but the stinger from that range is just way better no matter what. The attacker's taking another one, nearly a flawless round, only 1 player going down, and that was
This place is nice, but not nice
incredible
enough
entry
to die
coming in
in.
from the attackers.
Let's win and get
the
out of
defenders,
here.
I think, are now just forced to go on a safe / life buy, but I think they can't get a little bit too cozy, as Jet with knives could be quite scary to deal with. But the attackers, an incredible entry and execute onto the side, trading off each other, playing off each other, and incredible lurk from Brandon to stop Harry in his tracks right there. And now let's see how this next round plays out, as there's a very, very heavy force on towards mid and B for the defenders, and the attackers, if they just execute a fast A, they should be able to take this one. Jet knives do come out, but Gabe immediately going down is huge, and now Jet is forced to do that, as Brandon is going in far deep into CT, and he's gonna potentially meet Tippy Toes here, who's holding on to the Bucky once again. But Brandon able to get that kill. But Harry immediately on the flank already onto the defensive side, and let's see if the attackers actually expect this. But Brandon switches immediately onto the bucket and able to get the kill onto Shina. And Harry actually whiffing almost all of his knives. He only has 1 left. Is he actually going to go for this knife shot? And he's not going to get it. He only has the classic now. And the classic shot's just coming out, but he's stunned, he's hindered. And now a 4K coming out from Brandon. An incredible entry coming in from the Jet, as Brandon jumping immediately from the bot back position to nearly the top right position just by getting those 4 kills in that round, and an incredible executed entry once again coming in from Epic We Ball, as they're trying to really, it seems like, coordinate more of their executes and completely stop this one player, these 2 players, from completely taking over this match, as Tippy Toes once again going with that bucket that actually kind of failed him when on that corner in Ascent. And Terry playing this crouch angle towards Garage. Me myself, I actually love playing this angle. I think it's an incredibly strong angle, as most people don't expect the crouch there, and it's an easy one-tap shot once they swing in, as you do have the advantage of being able to hold down the angle before the attackers push out, and I mean before the defenders push out, excuse me. So now they know that there's a lot of noise being made at the attack side, and mid there's seems to be some kind of fight going on, but it just does seem like the wall is invested and part of it will go down. But Harry's in a really spooky position here. What gun is he actually holding on? He's holding it to a Vandal, so if the timing works out properly, he could just get a free kill onto Brandon here. And look at Harry here, just holding right in the middle to see which side they come out of, and he spots Brandon, but he goes with the trigger to spin, but instead, spotting that there's no one actually coming out to follow, he just decides to go for the kill, and they hear the dash, so they know that he's here, and he's gonna run away back onto site. I'm surprised FW Bar actually gonna choose to execute the site,
30
knowing
seconds
that he's
left.
here, knowing that the demon is here, and they go with the teleport onto site. Jaden is up into heaven, and I don't know if they expect that he'll be here towards site, but instead they decide to plan a position where it can be a little bit harder for them to catch him. But no, he's on site still. And what is that last shot? That flick right onto the stage, absolutely insane. And Harry just on his own, holding that site down, ties the game for his team. I have no idea what that flick was. Man, that's like almost having, that's like a PC check almost. As now we just move on to the 7th round, and it's still a tie game though. And that's quite the shot, as I completely have no idea what those flicks were coming in right there, as the mid wall is being broken down by the attackers, and flash coming out, and I think the attackers are once again hovering towards the A side, but little do they know that Harry's sitting here, and Tipito's able to get the kill onto Brandon, who is pushed up quite far into A, so I think that means the attackers will probably try and go in for the B site, but Shin is here with the Killjoy, so Killjoy's gonna be really hard to make it through here, as that turret is just in a corner that's hard to deal with, and she's probably gonna pop her mollies right now. The alarm but's coming on, they're absolutely getting cooked, but yeah, that's the extent at which the mollies can do. Nikki immediately trading out the kill onto Jaden, but it's still a numbers advantage for the defenders, but the attackers do have the Sage res if they can. But no, there's not a really good position able to use that res, as Lincoln throws out the stun, but it's not going to land onto anyone, and he is forced to back out as the aftershock comes out, and actually a good timing, but the flash comes out, so he's not able to see it. Harry absolutely dominating, but Nikki actually getting it out with the 3K, getting 4, almost getting 5, as Nikki almost clutches it out with an ace for her team, and wow, absolutely crazy play coming in from Nikki, almost saving it for her team. But regardless, in terms of eco, that's not even a bad effort at all, as I think the defenders will be able to force out a buy, but if they, in the case that they actually lose this round, and actually no, it forces lab punishment onto a light shield, and potentially that could be a game changing so it's hard to say that the effort coming in from that hold there was poor, as it could actually shift the tide of the game potentially, as now the econ still actually advantages for effort we ball, and the timing of the peak just able to get the damage, get the one shot out, but it's not gonna make a huge difference, as Derek goes in with the ultimate, but he's not gonna land onto one, and doesn't spot out Justin here. And Harry just runs out safely, but the res comes out, and Harry throws out the smoke. But Lincoln has a timing through main, potentially. And he runs out to Harry, but he's not able to win the gunfight. It's a 3v3. Harry gets another one. He's done the 3K. Maybe he gets 2 more.
One enemy remaining.
Nikki able to get one, but will be immediately traded out. It's a 1v2. Derek, the last man standing. But there's mollies being thrown out onto the spot, man. Tipito's is just watching it, and he's probably scared of Harry holding towards one of these angles towards main, but Harry actually playing really disciplined, running out to help Tipito's out here, and that's just another kill over, as wow, absolutely insane. He's just running away with the game all on his own. It's super hard to say, but I mean, it could go any direction so far right now, as I mean, it is considered generally more defender-sided map. I think Split is, as a lot of the entryways are quite small, and there's a lot of good angles to hold from the defensive side, and you can jiggle and get a lot of info. It's really hard to track a lot of the jiggle peek angles.
Get out of
The
my way!
only problem I think with the CT side is that holding mid is incredibly hard, which is why the Sage pick comes out, because that wall is incredibly strong in being able to get info towards mid and stopping any lurks or flanks through mid, as mid is incredibly easy and quick to rotate through. So now it does seem like the attackers, I don't know what their gun buyout is. They go for a full gun buyout actually, with the exception of Brandon, who is just going to run with knives instead. So it basically is a full buy for them. And Brandon is just sitting in towards mid. Harry is on this B side, so if the attackers just know this, they can't completely execute this. And Derek getting the kill right onto Justin. And they see the swing out from Shino, so that means they should know that there's just two players here. I don't think they should be expecting a stack here onto any side. Gabe is able to suppress one, but he's just spamming and not able to spawn one out. And Harry is rotating, but Tipito is able to get the flank here, and the nade being thrown out, so Lavender Shmoo not able to swing out because of the nade, and we should see bomb going down here potentially. As KO is incredibly low here right now, as Derek able to throw the bot over, but he's not going to get swung out, but Harry actually goes down to Nikki, and Lincoln also able to get the kill right there onto Gabe, so now it's basically a 2v2 situation, not in a very resable position. As actually the res does come online, but it's still a 1v2, but Gabe is the last man standing. He decides to jump down, but no, Lincoln swings out and will be able to get that kill. It's a 3v1, but now a 3v0, as now we do see Effort We Ball saying that we're not done yet, we're gonna keep this map as close as possible, we're gonna be the one to go to the finals, and it's not quite over yet. It's map 10, and I think the Lavender Princesses are just not able to buy out anything. I mean, we do see Harry allowing to go with, electing to choose to go with the Sheriff here, and the rest of his team just going to go with simple classic pistols. So we should see Effort We Ball being able to take those, and Harry's gonna swing out here, and he just jiggle swings and just runs, but Brandon, knowing what Harry can do with that Sheriff, just decides to run out completely. And it seems like Justin can't even really invest the wall into this round, because if he does, it'll be too expensive and it could potentially hinder his buy next round. And the attacker's just completely running through mid into A. Knowing that Harry is B, I think they just decided to go for this A side. But Nemo here with the shorty, but he's not able to get the kills, but he's going to be traded out immediately as the running guns come out. And then Derek also getting the kill onto Lavender Shmoo. So now it's a 5v3, but they don't even have the guns to show forth any kind of potential firepower. But maybe when the smoke drops, Harry should be able to get this kill potentially. As no, the smoke drops at the worst time, but at least Jay is able to get the second smoke off to get his team in a little bit more of an advantageous position. And Justin getting that Vandal, and Harry's still holding the Sheriff, but he gets flashed as Derek is throwing down the shots, as Harry's only at 5 HP, but he's able to get that shot. What is that shot once again? As he's just running away with the lobby, but him and Tipito's incredibly low. All they got is a bucket and a rifle. Brandon will be able to discuss Tipito's, and Harry the last man standing, but he does have a Vandal. And Brandon, unsure as to where he is, just checked down onto main, but no, Harry doesn't swing. Harry swings out, but Lincoln able to get that kill right onto him, and that's a 5-5 tie. Absolutely, what the heck is Harry doing? Just all he's sitting on is a Sheriff, and he's just comfortably getting 2 kills, and it doesn't seem like this game is over for both teams. Both teams trying their hardest to stay in it as much as possible. And now it does seem like we're going to be riding into, I mean, look at the kill disparity. Harry's just on 17 all by himself in no man's land completely. Attacker's playing a little bit safer here, and the Viper will be expended towards site on B. And Jojo is probably going to peek out, so that's the Sage has gone actually. And Breach ultimate coming in as well, as Tipito's forced to be pushed out. And the attacker's getting jiggled out. Harry almost getting a kill, but gets a dash shot, and he's going to re-swing actually. but he's lit quite a significant amount, and they don't even have a Sage to heal him. And Jaden getting the kill onto Tippy-Toes, but Nemo's on the flank. Will they expect this? And Derek is going to swing into, but he spawns him out, but instead he does go down regardless. And Harry's going to swing into this position that Brandon is holding, but Brandon completely didn't expect him to push out, and Harry's just once again running away with the Molly. Suddenly the attackers are in a disadvantaged situation, but no, it's back to 2v2, and that Molly is actually going to stop him, and now his teammate can't play with them. So now that critical mistake could potentially cost them this round, as Gabe is going to try and do whatever he can. Both enemy players low, but if they just play the time, he hears the Omen teleport, I think. So he's going to know that there's one player back here, but not going to be able to get the timing as Jaden swings out at the perfect time and gets a kill right onto Gabe. And that, I feel like that Molly might have been critical, as that mistake could be potentially the reason why his team did not take that round. And now the attackers got whatever they wanted. They got their 6 so far, as now they're going to be able to play. Although Split, I guess, is a more CT-sided map, considering the playstyle of both of these teams, I would say they're both very much more T-sided, as their duelists are incredibly good at entering, and they can just fly away with the match just by doing so. And we actually see Brandon coming out with the op buy, so let's see if Shinu is actually going to choose to swing out. She gets flashed, but I don't know if they know that she's on this site still, but she's only just holding onto a bulldog, and the ultimate comes out from Jaden with the Omen and gets a kill. So that's a free site for them. They should know that site is completely clear. And Justin does have the res online, but when on the retake, it's really hard to play on the res if you don't have one that's like on the lurk or somewhere in a safer position. And Harry comes in with the dash, is able to get one, but he does take some damage. He gets another one. And Brandon is able to get a kill right there too, but Jaden able to get the trade, and another one as well. A 3k coming out from Jaden, and that's 7 for the attackers. So Effort We Ball actually taking the lead here now.
Switching sides.
So ever since a couple of those rounds, it does seem like the rounds have just been flip-flop into series. It's 2, 3, 3, 4, and now let's see. It does seem like momentum is a huge ride for both of these teams, and it's a huge factor for both of these teams to absolutely take the advantage and be ahead a little bit. And now let's as I think we do see someone not present, but no, they do buy the frenzy, as Lavender Schmidt does come out with the frenzy really quickly. But this kill disparity absolutely crazy, as we see that one team is way more top heavy currently, as the other one is a little bit better well distributed. Nicky's not gonna get the time of the walls. Harry's just gonna walk in, as he doesn't care, and the stun coming out from Lincoln as he backs off, knowing that he's just completely forced off the site. And Harry with an absolutely insane speed, but Brandon getting 2 already in this little bit of a lurk position. Will Tippy-Toes expect him here? He will, but he takes the body shot, and he's just going to be forced to run into main, as Brandon is chasing him down. And I don't know if Tippy-Toes will expect this chase, as Brandon heard the running. And let's see how this swing will turn out between Brandon and... Oh, but Brandon able to get the kill onto Justin. And he's going to swing right into Harry, but Harry's able to get the trade. But Tippy-Toes going down, but Harry able to get another one. And now that is an absolute insane clutch coming from Jaden right onto Harry. The timing, but Harry doing an incredibly well job to try and stall that round as much as possible, but Jaden is just expecting it, ready for him, and gets the shot off. And I think that potential singular shot coming out by, I think, Brandon on the body shot towards Harry might have been a huge difference. And now we should see the defenders going on for a full force, and if they don't take this round, they could be a little bit in a rough situation. So I think FOB ball, play around the specters, play as safe as possible, make sure that you don't get hit by this rush as much as possible. So I think Derek knows that there's a lot of players coming in here, and he throws out the nade. That's a lot of damage coming out, and he actually gets on with the satchel. But Harry's already pushed in, and that's a Spectre going over to the Jet. He gets another one just on this Sheriff, and suddenly it's an advantage over to the Lavender Princesses, and we should see Nikki be able to get his kill onto Tippy Toes, who was just caught out completely with this knife out, and the timing of these peaks. But Brandon getting another one, and it's a 2v3 now. The attacker's in a rough situation, has a really great flash coming out as Nikki gets that kill, and Lincoln getting the last one as well. So the defenders doing a really great job to capitalize on their advantage in the weaponry and the money and the economy, and now they take it to their 9th round so far. So incredibly great flash, and honestly, I think we could completely say that Nikki's the Harry killer right now. She's completely killing it, completely winning a lot of these matchups against him, and maybe it's just like sometimes the most unexpected players can just be the complete game changer, the X factor, as Nikki's just doing everything for her team, being the one to take down Harry in a lot of these rounds, and she's just performing incredibly on the split map so far.
Watch this.
And now dash cam for Harry, incredibly fast, and obviously defenders don't have the money or the guns, so they're playing a little bit more slowly here, and let's see how they're going to play.
Spike planted.
With that, as the coordination though from the defenders is looking really good despite everything. So honestly, if they can just even get a lot of guns off, I feel like it'll be really good for them this round, as we do see a double flank coming in actually. Will Tibito's be able to get both? He does actually, and that's absolutely huge, as I think he has Molly liners for the bomb right now. And this post-plant setup is just absolutely ridiculous. I think defenders should just play for the exits.
One enemy remaining.
Now Jaden, the last one standing, so he won't get it, as Harry's gonna get that kill, and that's a flawless. So they can't even make it expensive, as now the Lavender Princess is full guns, and now they have the money to be able to buy not only this round but the next, even if they lose this one completely. But now we have Brandon on the operator, as he is known to perform incredibly well with the operator. So let's see if this can be the difference maker here so far, as I feel like with only Viper being your only controller, it could be hard to smoke off the operator. And Brandon's gonna hold right into this angle, as Tipitas is holding it as well. Let's see how the peaks happen, but nope, no one's gonna take any damage. Both sides just gonna back off. And the wall immediately comes out to its mid, and the smoke following right after Harry with the dash, and he's ready to. Let's see if Jaden is gonna be expecting this potential push, but no. And the timing! The absolute ridiculous timing! But Jaden is able to get that kill, and regardless, and now we do see the attackers. Now they're just hovering more towards the A side, I think, as Derek is holding it down, and he's going to actually back off, not spot anyone quite yet, as the attackers going in for a rush here, as the knife will spot Derek out, and let's see if they expect him to swing out here, and they do, as he will go down, but Nemo also incredibly low, but the heal should be able to come out from his teammate, and yes, the heal does come out as he goes back up to 100. It's a 4v4, and Tippitoes once again playing the lurk angle on the molly angle. I wonder if Nikki expects this, and no, she does not, but Tippitoes not able to get the shots landing, but they don't know that he's playing the molly line of angles, and Jaden completely flashed out. Lincoln the last one standing, but the molly lamps are going to be rough to play around, as he's trying to get the shots on, but little does he know that Nemo's low, and Nemo's just going to get that final kill as well. 3k over, as now the Lavender Princess is trying to keep it as close as possible. Now it's only a 2-round difference, and FAW Ball might be a little bit nervous, as they even have the operator, but now they can't even afford one until potentially even 2 rounds later right now, as they're gonna have to go for a complete full force, as Brandon also I think used the knives as well in that situation. So it was a round that they really had to try and win, but not being able to take that at all could be quite scary, as now let's see what the defenders tried to do with whatever buy they got, as they are electing for a lot of very short range guns while the attackers are on full vandals. And now Brandon making a lot of footsteps, a lot of noise along with Lincoln here, as Lincoln gets the orb, and I think they're going to try and get the dash out here, but Lavender Schmoot is lurking into the corner, and Tippy Toes is ready to swing off the angle, And Lavender Shmoo swings off as well, but it's not gonna matter as Harry's able to get the kill on towards Nikki towards B and the middle of the map. As now I think the defenders are a little bit scared now. They're playing incredibly far back. Most likely to play the retake as Harry's presence is incredibly scary as it's not easy to play choke holds together as there's just so many ways in which the attackers can enter. But maybe if Derek is able to get the timing here. Don't drop down. He's able to get one with the Bucky, and that's a huge kill actually. And he hears the rope going back up, and he's gonna try and get the Vandal. Is he actually gonna drop down? Yes, he is, and he's gonna be able to get that Vandal. And that means they're gonna try and hit the B side most likely, but they don't expect Nemo here with the lurk, and that is a
30
huge
seconds
lurk.
left.
And Shina running in as she
an alarm
spots
bot.
out Brandon, and Derek actually able to get the kill onto Nemo. The timing right there, and the push in coming from Brandon with the stinger. And Lavender was only 2 HP, but Derek's is incredibly low, 2v3. As now this is a absolutely critical clutch actually for both teams. As even if the attackers are giving up one more round, while on the other hand the defenders, they need to try and ruin the Lavender Princess's economy as much as possible. So let's see what both sides decide to do so far in the round, as they're going to clear out health. They do not spot anyone out. They're clearing all of the site. And there are Molly lineups coming out, but it doesn't even matter as Derek's able to get 3. Will he be able to get 5? No. And he's going to make a 4 or 5. No! They line up, but he's not quite able to land the shots. And a team ace coming out for the Lavender Princesses as they make it an 8-9.
One enemy
and
remaining.
Well, I guess since since F It We Ball can at least go with a full buy here, they're not too much in the red right now, as they were at least able to keep that round relatively close considering the buyouts that they were working with. And it's so important for both sides to really grab the lead here. I feel like first to hit 11 could be critical, and we're already 17 rounds in and an incredibly close match. We could even be seeing overtimes potentially here, is what I'm thinking. As Harry going in with a quick dash, and Derek actually getting the kill onto Jaden, ready to trade him at 3-2 trade. As now Gabe and just in the last players left, but the ultimate coming in as Nikki's gonna get one onto the bomb right there, as Brandon's also gonna get the kill, but Gabe, the last player standing, and he pops out the KO ultimate, and it's a 2v2, but Brandon able to get the timing of the swing, and that is 10 for F It We Ball. So the gun run absolutely huge, and Derek being able to get that kill right onto Harry when he's going for the smoke entry, absolutely huge, as he's able to get the track spray, and that could be absolutely critical. As now let's see how the buyouts look for the Lavender Princesses, as it doesn't seem like they can buy full rifles for everyone, but we do know that Harry's going to be able to play around the knives here, as they will have a full buyout even for the next round, even with this current situation. As yes, they do elect to go for a full
Get out
gun
of my
round.
way.
And we hear the jet knife coming out immediately, and the Killjoy ultimate, as Jaden is going to try and hold this angle, this long angle, and honestly this is a really strong angle to hold. And the flash coming out, if he spots the flash, and he just runs, jiggles in. Luckily he does not take any damage, and the blind's coming out, and now the attacker Killjoy detaining nobody, but that gives them complete control over the site. And now let's see how the retake will come out from F It We Ball, as they are forced to concede the site through that Killjoy ultimate. They do still have the Sage and the Omen ultimate available, but I don't know if they're going to expend it. And the flank coming in, and Brandon able to get the kill onto Tippy Toes, is caught out with his knife out once again, and Jaden being killed, but Brandon getting the immediate trade out right now, and it's a 3v4, but the KO and the Jet still alive, but Derek able to kill right onto the KO, and now Jet with the knife still alive, but Brandon able to kill onto Harry right away, and now the double satchel coming in, and Brandon with the 4K on the retake immediately, and now that's F It We Ball getting into 11, an absolutely critical round. As now I think Lavender Princesses, even if they're able to get somewhat of a buyout next round, it could be a little bit of a struggle now, as I think they're being a little bit read into their game plan on the attack, and maybe they might want to switch it up, play it a little bit slower, as incredibly strong flanks coming in from Brandon, as he's stopping them from playing around the Molly lineups now, and it's making the postman a lot harder for the Lavender Princess to play around. And now F It We Ball completely switching up the momentum of the game so far, as we do see still the pattern of both teams taking maps
Let's go.
respectively in order consecutively from each other. So 2 through 3. So maybe we see the defenders taking another one here. 3 again potentially, and we see Harry and Brandon potentially. But the flash comes out and they just back off as the Jets won't meet into each other. And now we do see a more default setup actually coming from the attackers. They are actually choosing to play it a little bit slower as mentioned, as it's not surprising, but Brandon actually going with an aggressive push. He's gonna get one into tippy toes, it seems like. Yes, but Harry trading one on to Derek on towards mid. So that's 1-to-1 trade for both Jets getting each kill, and now it's a 4v4 situation. And let's see if Jaden is able to get a good timing here just by sneaking up here. Will Lavender Shmoo be clearing this corner is another question, and it doesn't seem like she is. She's not staring at it at all, but Jaden decides to go for the trigger patience, but it doesn't really work out for him. And now Lavender Shmoo able to get that kill, and now that's an entry coming in from the attack side, but maybe Brandon could get the timing onto site, and he does. He's able to get one, maybe two, but he's stuck on site. They walled him in, and he's getting chased, and he goes out with the knife. He's not landing any of the knives as Justin's able to get the kill, and Harry also getting the kill right onto Long. It's a 2v3 situation though, and Derek does have the Raze ultimate available online. It's ready, and he's able to get one kill right on to Justin, and now it's a 2v2 situation, and the Raze ultimate coming out. He's a little bit scared. He gets flashed out. He throws the Raze ultimate, but it's not going to land, but it doesn't matter as the damage is enough, and the nade gets thrown. But Harry's incredibly low, and he has to reload, so Derek goes for that final kill, and that's a clutch for his team, and now his team is on match point. So now we could see potentially Effort We Ball hitting the finals instead of the Lavender Princesses, and now we're already sitting on match point, and I don't think the Lavender Princesses have the econ to fully buy out. And no, actually they do. It's just that they will be forced to be sitting on a light shields on their KO here. But regardless of everything that's going on, it's a complete domination at least so far. But if we look at the pattern so far, we do see that it's 2 taken by one side, 3 by the other side, 3 by the other side, and 4 by the other side. So if that seems to stand as a case still, it could potentially go all the way into 12-12, and we could be seeing overtime. But let's see if the Lavender Princesses could keep this pattern consistent and switch it up. But they know that Brandon is online with the op, and the immediate wall comes out, knowing that the flash comes out, and incredibly smart decision coming from Nikki to throw up the wall and help her duelist here in the situation, who could have been a little bit in a pinch there. And now Lavender should be going in with the lurk towards mid, it seems like, and the attackers are a lot more leaned on towards the B side of the map. But I think the defenders are also way more stacked onto the B side currently, as they are a little bit weaker on the A side. And Lincoln playing in towards the back of the site, as let's see if this can make a difference. He goes out with the flash, and they're jumping out with the flash. He's able to get one, able to get two, and that's absolutely huge for his team. And he comes out with the stun, but Gabe able to get the trade, but he's going to be immediately traded out by Brandon once again. It's a 2v4 situation, and now Justin and Shin are the last 2 players remaining, and they're going for the orb, but the spray comes out, the spam, but Justin able to get one as Jaden is pushing a little bit too aggressively, but no, it's a 1v3 now. Shin the last player standing. Brandon tries to go in for the shorty kills, but no. Shorty kills will not be online, and Sheena the last player standing, as she could potentially be flanked here by Nikki. And will she expect a flank? I don't think so, but Nikki is on a slow peak, and Nikki's gonna go for the knife, but she misses the knife, but Sheena does a spot, or Sheena gets a kill, and she tries to flick over onto Derek, but will not be able to get that final one, and a best of 3 ending right there with the split going over to Effort We Ball. Effort We Ball will be advancing over to the finals with that one. GG. Alright, thank you everyone for playing today, and I think so Effort We Ball, you guys will be advancing to the finals, so we'll be discussing and scheduling all of that to make sure that all 5 of hopefully the main players, the starting 5, can start for the matchup, and we'll try and coordinate a date for all that. And for Lavender Princesses, the run did sadly come to an end, but regardless, you guys played incredibly, and I really thank everyone for for participating in this tournament. And with that, we will conclude the first semifinals of the KASA Valorant tournament. And we will be having day 2 of the semifinals on Sunday, so make sure to tune in again at probably as scheduled for now, 8 p.m. on Sunday, unless there are other conflicts that occur or any technical issues that may arise. We may lead into delays or potential postponements, but for now, other than that, thank you everyone for playing, and great job to both teams.
G.
GG.